Welcome back today. We explore some of the rarest and most valuable coins in the world. Today, we're diving into the world of Abraham Lincoln penny coins that could potentially make you a millionaire. First up, the 1926 Lincoln Wheat Penny. Specifically, we'll be focusing on the 1926 penny without a mint mark, in fine condition, and diving into its value in today's market. If you're a collector or just someone who appreciates the rich history behind these coins, you're in for a treat. Let's get started. Let's begin by taking a look at the obverse of the coin. This side of the penny features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. As we can see, the 1926 Lincoln penny retains Lincoln's distinctive features, though you'll notice a bit of wear since this coin is in fine condition. Above the portrait, we have the inscription, "In God We Trust," and to the left, the word "Liberty." You'll also spot the 1926 year to the right of Lincoln's profile. In fine condition, you'll notice some wear to the details, particularly in Lincoln's hair and the lettering, but they're still visible. A fine condition coin has softened details compared to an uncirculated coin, but they remain quite distinct. Next, let's zoom in on the date and mint mark. As we can see, this is a 1926 penny without a mint mark, meaning it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. The absence of a mint mark is important because it helps identify where the coin was struck. The Philadelphia Mint was the primary mint for many of the Lincoln wheat pennies, and in 1926 it produced a substantial number of these coins. Now, let's flip the coin over to the reverse side, where we see the famous wheat design. This side features two stalks of wheat, symbolizing the agricultural foundation of America. At the top, we have United States of America, and at the bottom, the denomination 1 cent, with the inscription E pluribus unum in between. On a fine condition coin like this, the wheat stalks are still visible, but the details have softened slightly due to wear from circulation. The word 1 cent remains readable, though you may notice some slight flattening, which is typical of coins that have seen some time in circulation. Now, let's talk about what it means when we say this coin is in fine condition. A fine condition coin shows moderate wear, with much of the original design still visible. In this case, the 1926 Lincoln wheat penny still has discernible features like Lincoln's portrait and the wheat design on the reverse, though there is some wear to the finer details. The coin may also have some dirt or tarnish, but nothing that takes away from the overall appeal. Now, let's talk about the mintage and rarity of the 1926 Lincoln wheat penny. In 1926, the Philadelphia Mint produced a significant number of pennies, making this coin somewhat common in terms of mintage. However, the 1926 penny without a mint mark in fine condition is still highly sought after by collectors due to its age and place in the Lincoln Wheat Penny series. The 1926 Lincoln Wheat Penny doesn't have the same level of rarity as some other coins from the series, but in fine condition, it still stands as an important piece for any collector looking to complete their collection. So, what's the market value of the 1926 Lincoln Wheat Penny in fine condition? In today's market, you can expect to see this penny priced at around $40,000 in fine condition, though it may be slightly higher or lower, depending on the market demand, auction results, and where you're buying or selling it. Coins in good condition or those with significant wear generally sell for less, while those in extra fine or uncirculated condition can fetch a higher price, sometimes reaching $450,000 to $500,000 or more, depending on the specific grade and buyer interest. If you happen to have a 1926 Lincoln Wheat Penny in your collection, you'll want to take good care of it. To preserve its value, store your coin in a protective holder like a coin flip or a slab if possible. Always handle it by the edges to avoid leaving fingerprints, and be sure to store it in a cool, dry place to prevent any further tarnish or damage. If you're thinking about selling your coin, you might want to have it professionally graded by a trusted service like PCGS or NGC. A certified grade can help you get a more accurate price and may increase the coin's value when selling it at auction. So, there you have it. The 1926 Lincoln Wheat Penny in fine condition. While it's not one of the rarest pennies in the collection, it's still an important piece of American coinage and a valuable item for collectors. If you have one of these in your collection, it's always great to know its value and significance in the market. Next up, the 1920 Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark. We'll also dive into its value in today's market, specifically focusing on good condition. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, you'll want to know more about this coin. So let's jump right in. Let's start with the obverse of the coin, which features the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. As you can see, the details are still visible, but have worn down slightly because this penny is in good condition. You can clearly make out Lincoln's profile, but you'll notice a bit of wear around the edges, particularly in his hair and beard. Above the portrait, you'll find the phrase, "In God We Trust," and to the left, the word "liberty." The year 1920 is located just to the right of Lincoln, helping us identify the exact year of this classic penny. While the details may have softened, the coin still holds a lot of historical value. Now let's take a closer look at the date and mint mark. As you can see, this is a 1920 penny without a mint mark, which means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. The lack of a mint mark is significant, as it tells us the coin's origin. The Philadelphia Mint produced the majority of Lincoln wheat pennies, making this coin somewhat common in terms of mintage. Now let's flip the coin over and check out the reverse side. The reverse features the iconic wheat stalk design representing the Agricultural Foundation of America. At the top, we have the inscription, "United States of America." And at the bottom, you'll see 1 cent, along with the motto, "E pluribus unum," in between. In good condition, the wheat stalks and other details are still visible, but have some wear due to circulation. You may notice a slight flattening of the wheat stalks and the 1 cent inscription, which is typical for coins that have been in circulation for many years. So, what exactly does it mean when we say this coin is in good condition? A coin in good condition will show heavy wear, but still retain enough detail for collectors to identify the key features. The 1920 Lincoln wheat penny, in good condition, will have some flattened features, especially in the high contact areas, like Lincoln's hair or the wheat stalks on the reverse. While this coin may show some wear, the overall design is still quite visible. A good condition. Penny isn't perfect, but it's still a fantastic piece of American history that many collectors cherish. Let's talk about the mintage of the 1920 Lincoln wheat penny. The Philadelphia Mint produced a significant number of these pennies in 1920, so it's not one of the rarest coins in the series. However, because of its age, it still holds a historical value and is desirable to collectors, especially those who are looking for a wheat penny with some age but without a hefty price tag. So, what's the market value of the 1920 Lincoln wheat penny in good condition today? In the current market, you can typically expect this penny to be valued at around $25,000 to $30,000. Of course, coin prices can fluctuate depending on factors like collector demand, auction results, and the overall economic environment. While it may not fetch the same price as some rarer, high-grade pennies, the 1920 Lincoln wheat penny is still a popular choice for collectors looking to add a historically significant coin to their collection. A good condition example can still hold a decent amount of value, especially for collectors who appreciate its age and the wheat design. If you're lucky enough to own a 1920 Lincoln wheat penny, it's important to take good care of it to preserve its value. To protect your coin, consider placing it in a coin holder or slab for storage. Always handle the coin by its edges to avoid leaving fingerprints on its surface, and store it in a cool, dry place to prevent any further tarnishing or damage. Next up, the 1911 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny. Specifically, we'll be talking about the version with no mint mark, in fine condition, and exploring its current value in today's market. If you're passionate about rare and valuable coins, this video is for you. Let's get started. First up, let's talk about the obverse of this iconic penny. As you can see, the 1911 Lincoln wheat penny features the well-known portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Even though this coin is in fine condition, the details of Lincoln's face and features are still visible, but slightly worn from age and circulation. The "In God We Trust" inscription is legible, as well as the word "Liberty," which is displayed along the top rim of the coin. Now, let's talk about the mint mark. As you can see, there is no mint mark on this coin, which means it was minted at the Philadelphia Mint. The absence of a mint mark is quite common for coins struck in Philadelphia during that time. For collectors, this makes it important to identify where the coin was made, as this can affect the coin's rarity and value. Next, let's flip the coin over and check out the reverse side. This side is famous for its wheat stalk design, symbolizing the agricultural roots of America. You'll find United States of America inscribed across the top, with 1 cent at the bottom. Between the words, you'll see E pluribus unum, the national motto. Even in fine condition, the wheat stalks remain visible, though some of the finer details have softened due to the wear and tear of circulation. The 1 cent marking is still clear, and overall, the reverse side maintains a classic, timeless appeal. So, what exactly do we mean when we say this coin is in fine condition? A coin in fine condition will have visible wear, but the key design elements are still clearly distinguishable. In the case of the 1911 Lincoln wheat penny, you can still easily make out the portrait of Lincoln and the wheat stalks on the reverse. Even if some of the finer details are somewhat softened, coins in fine condition generally have some scratches, dings, or worn spots, but they're still in decent shape for their age. The good news is that the value is generally more accessible for these coins, making them a great choice for collectors on a budget. Now, let's talk about the mintage of the 1911 Lincoln wheat penny. The Philadelphia Mint produced a large number of these pennies in 1911, so it's not one of the rarest dates in the series. However, it is still considered a highly collectible coin due to its age and historical significance. The 1911 penny is part of the early Lincoln wheat penny series, which ran from 1909 to 1958, making it a staple in any serious collection. So, what's the value of the 1911 Lincoln wheat penny in fine condition today? As of now, you can expect this coin to be worth around $7,000 in fine condition, depending on factors like demand, auction results, and the coin's overall appearance. While this penny is not considered one of the rarest in the series, it still holds significant value because of its historical importance. Collectors are willing to pay a premium for well-maintained examples of this coin, especially as it's over a century old. To keep your 1911 Lincoln wheat penny in good condition, it's important to store it properly. Use coin holders or slabs to keep it protected from dirt, moisture, and damage. Handling the coin by its edges will help prevent fingerprints and scratches that could affect its value. If you're looking to sell, getting the coin professionally graded by a trusted service like PCGS or NGC might help boost its value when you put it up for auction or sell it privately. And that's a wrap on the 1911 Lincoln wheat penny, without mint mark in fine condition. While it's not the rarest coin in the world, it still holds a special place in the hearts of coin collectors due to its age, history, and design. If you have one of these in your collection, it's a fantastic piece to hold on to. Next up, the 1940 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark, featuring a tick line and in damaged condition. We'll talk about its characteristics and what it's worth in today's market. If you love rare and valuable coins, make sure to stick around. Let's start by looking at the obverse side of this coin, which features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Despite the damaged condition, you can still clearly make out Lincoln's face, though there's noticeable wear from circulation, and the coin shows signs of scratches and marks. Now, as we take a closer look at the mint mark area, you'll notice that there's no mint mark, which means this penny was minted at the Philadelphia Mint. Coins minted in Philadelphia during that time did not carry a mint mark, and this one falls into that category. Here's an interesting detail: this coin has a noticeable tick line running across its surface. A tick line is a small but deep scratch, often caused by the coin being struck or by contact with another object over time. While it doesn't significantly detract from the coin's authenticity, it does affect the overall condition and can impact the coin's value. Turning the coin over, we see the classic reverse design featuring two stalks of wheat on either side of the words 1 cent at the center, with United States of America along the top and E pluribus unum at the bottom. While the wheat stalks and the other features are still somewhat visible, there's a clear wear due to the coin's age and damage condition. Despite this, the design remains recognizable, and you can still make out the key elements. So, what do we mean by damage condition? This refers to coins that have experienced significant wear or physical harm over time, like scratches, dents, or abrasions. In this case, the tick line is one of the major damages to the coin. It's important to note that while damage like this doesn't necessarily affect the coin's authenticity, it can significantly lower the coin's market value. Now, let's talk about the mintage of the 1940 Lincoln wheat penny. The Philadelphia Mint produced a substantial number of these coins in 1940, which means they're not incredibly rare or hard to find. However, the value of these coins can fluctuate depending on factors like condition and demand. Coins in better condition can demand a much higher price, while coins in damaged condition like this one will typically be valued lower. Still, for collectors, it's all about finding pieces with historical significance and holding on to them for future value. So, what's the value of this 1940 Lincoln wheat penny in damaged condition today? In the market, a 1940 Lincoln penny in fine condition can be worth around $125,000. However, due to the damage including the tick line, this coin would likely be priced much lower, somewhere around $130,000 depending on the extent of wear and damage and the current demand in the auction market. If you own a damaged coin like this, it's important to handle it carefully. Store it in a protective case to prevent further scratching or wear. Keep it in a cool, dry place and avoid cleaning it with harsh chemicals, as this can reduce its value even more. If you're considering selling or trading this coin, it's always a good idea to get it professionally graded by a service like PCGS or NGC, as this can give you a better sense of its worth in the current market. Next up, the 1951 large date with D mint mark in very fine condition. If you're into collecting rare and valuable coins, you're going to want to stick around for this one. Let's start by checking out the obverse of this coin, where we find the classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. This design has stood the test of time, representing Lincoln in all his glory. In very fine condition, the details of Lincoln's features like his beard and hair are still quite sharp, but with some gentle wear from circulation. Along the top, we have the phrase "In God We Trust," and to the left, you'll see Liberty. The date 1951 is clearly visible, which is an important feature when determining the coin's authenticity and value. Now, let's talk about the large date feature on this penny. The 1951 large date is notable for the larger, more widely spaced numbers compared to its small date counterpart. This is a key feature for collectors who are on the hunt for the right variation. Look closely, and you'll find the D mint mark located just below the date. This signifies that this penny was minted at the Denver Mint. The D mint mark adds a bit of rarity and value, making it more desirable to collectors. Turning the coin over to the reverse side, we see the familiar design featuring two stalks of wheat, symbolizing the abundance and strength of the United States. The words United States of America arc across the top, and E, pluribus unum, sits just below the wheat. At the center, we have 1 cent all in crisp detail for a very fine condition. Coin. Despite the wear from circulation, the wheat stalks are still visible, and the overall design remains intact, which is what makes this coin special. The reverse design, along with the D mint mark and the large date, makes this penny a unique find. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly does very fine condition mean for a coin like this? Well, in very fine condition, this penny has seen some wear, but it still retains a lot of its original detail. You'll notice slight wear on the high points of the coin, especially around Lincoln's face and the wheat stalks. But unlike coins in poor condition, the design elements are still very readable, and the coin doesn't have any significant damage. So, what's the value of a 1951 Lincoln wheat penny with large date and D mint mark in very fine condition in today's market? As of now, the value of this coin can range between $26,000 depending on factors such as the coin's quality and the current demand in the marketplace. Coins in very fine condition tend to fall in the mid-range of the value spectrum for this year. The D mint mark and the large date variation give it just a bit more rarity, which helps boost its market value, especially among collectors who seek specific types of pennies. At auction, coins like this 1951 Lincoln wheat penny have been known to sell for a bit higher, with prices often ranging from $30,000 depending on the auction house and the coin's appeal to bidders. Of course, if the coin has an exceptional eye appeal or if it's part of a particularly high-quality collection, it could sell for even more. Whether you're looking to buy or sell, it's important to keep an eye on the auction market trends. The value of coins like this one can fluctuate based on demand and how many collectors are actively seeking them. Now, if you have a 1951 Lincoln wheat penny in very fine condition, make sure to store it properly to preserve its value. I recommend using holder or an acid-free coin holder to protect it from any environmental damage. It's important to store it in a cool, dry place to avoid any degradation. So, there you have it. The 1951 Lincoln wheat penny, with the large date and D mint mark in very fine condition. While it may not be the rarest penny out there, it's still a valuable and significant coin for collectors, with a value range of $3 to $7 depending on condition and demand. Next up, the 1940 Lincoln wheat penny, with the large date and no mint mark. We'll be discussing the unique features of this penny and what it's worth in today's market. Let's take a close look at the obverse of this coin, where we can see the well-known portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. This design has remained one of the most iconic in American coinage. On a 1940 penny in fine condition, Lincoln's portrait still shows quite a bit of detail, though there is noticeable wear from circulation. The date 1940 is clearly visible, which is one of the key elements that collectors look for. One important feature of the 1940 Lincoln wheat penny is the large date. As you can see, the numbers are spaced more widely apart, making it stand out from the smaller date version. Collectors specifically look for this variation, as it's part of what gives the coin its uniqueness and desirability. Now, you might notice there is no mint mark next to the date. This means it was minted in Philadelphia, the main U.S. mint. While pennies from the Philadelphia Mint without a mint mark are not the rarest, they still hold significant value, especially in the right condition. Flipping the coin over to the reverse, we can see the familiar design featuring two wheat stalks framing the words 1 cent. This wheat design symbolizes America's agricultural roots and was used on the Lincoln penny from 1909 to 1958. Even in fine condition, the details of the wheat stalks are still recognizable, though they may show some signs of wear from years of circulation. Now, let's talk about the condition of this coin. This 1940 Lincoln wheat penny is considered to be in fine condition. In this state, the coin shows moderate wear. The details of Lincoln's portrait are still visible, though softer, and the wheat stalks are still distinguishable but with some smoothing. The date is legible and the overall coin still retains its historical charm, despite the wear from circulation. Coins in fine condition are usually much more affordable than those in mint or uncirculated condition, but they're still prized by collectors because they're not too worn down and can still show off some beautiful details. So, how much is a 1940 Lincoln wheat penny in fine condition worth today? As of now, the value of this coin typically ranges from $15,000 depending on the demand in the marketplace. The large date version adds a bit of rarity, and while this coin might not be worth hundreds of dollars, it still holds a steady value, especially for those who focus on collecting specific date varieties. If you're looking for a 1940 Lincoln wheat penny for your collection, don't expect to break the bank for a coin in fine condition. However, if you're dealing with mint state version or one with certain unique qualities, the value could rise significantly. Now, when it comes to auctions, this coin can fetch a bit higher, especially if there are bidding wars for a well-preserved example. On average, 1,940 Lincoln wheat pennies in fine condition have sold for around $19,000 in recent auctions. However, this can vary, so it's always important to check auction results if you're looking to buy or sell. Collecting coins is all about finding those hidden gems, and while this coin may not be the rarest, its historical significance and aesthetic design make it a great addition to any collection. If you've got a 1940 Lincoln wheat penny in fine condition, make sure to store it properly to help preserve its value. I recommend using a holder or a coin capsule to keep the coin safe from dirt, scratches, and environmental damage. Next up, the 1956 Lincoln wheat penny with the large date and D mint mark. In this video, we'll dive into the features of this coin and explore its value in today's market. Let's start with the obverse of the coin. As you can see, we have the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. This portrait has been a part of American coinage for over a century, and it's instantly recognizable. On a 1956 penny in extra fine condition, Lincoln's features are well preserved, showing sharp detail in his face and beard. The date 1956 is bold and easy to read, which is crucial for collectors. Now, let's focus on the large date and the D mint mark. The large date version of the 1956 penny features a noticeable difference in the size of the numbers compared to other years. The D mint mark tells us that this penny was struck at the Denver Mint. While the deminted versions aren't as rare as some other variations, they're still highly desirable, especially in this extra fine condition. Turning the coin over, we get a good look at the reverse, which features the iconic wheat stalks on either side of the words 1 cent. The reverse design, which was used on pennies from 1909 to 1958, symbolizes America's agricultural heritage. In extra fine condition, the wheat stalks remain well defined, and the overall details of the reverse are sharp, with only minimal wear. The United States of America and E pluribus unum inscriptions are clearly visible. Now let's talk about the condition of this coin. A coin in extra fine condition shows little to no major wear, with most of the finer details still visible. In this state, the coin might have a slight amount of wear on high points, but the key elements like Lincoln's portrait, the wheat stalks, and the mint mark remain sharply defined. The overall appearance is still quite appealing, and this makes the coin stand out among others that have seen more circulation. So, what is the value of a 1956 Lincoln wheat penny with the large date and D mint mark in extra fine condition? As of today, this penny is valued between $45,000, depending on its specific grade and market demand. Extra fine examples of this coin tend to fetch a slightly higher price, especially if they are well preserved and have minimal damage. When it comes to auctions, you may find this coin selling for a little higher, especially in auctions where collectors are bidding for well-preserved examples. The market for 1956 Lincoln wheat pennies is relatively stable, and coins in extra fine condition often go for around the $55,000 range. Of course, the value can fluctuate depending on the specific coin's condition and the current demand among collectors. So there you have it, the 1956 Lincoln wheat penny with the large date and D mint mark in extra fine condition is a beautiful piece of American history that is valued between $70,000 in today's market. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting your journey, this coin is a great addition to any collection. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our future videos. Have you found a 1956 Lincoln wheat penny in your collection? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting!